Before sharing many of my favorite communities and individuals co-creating and living now friendlier and friendship-based systems, many of my favorites which are harder to find and more esoteric in focus, here are a few more general that are easy to find and more easy to understand examples if you want to start exploring and reaching out to communities on your own at the same time as sharing this journey with me of me introducing you to more hard to find and unusual ones. So one wonderful community which all over the world is open and accessible, and where the majority of the people generally choose friendlier and friendships-based solutions, systems, and practices, who just naturally leave unsustainable systems behind. And in a simpler way of saying that, just have no patience for BS, BS-free communities. Anyways, so one is the folk dance community and the folk music community. And of the very vast community, of which there are so many, they're very diverse, and some are more accessible than others. The one that I would say is the absolute most accessible and positive, and I think holds many of the keys for the future, is the contra dance community, CONTRA. It's an American kind of line folk dance, but the community, as communities are, the phenomenon, the dance, is a phenomenon which has created a community which is goes way beyond the community and the dance practice itself. So it's just a really supportive place. There's just a lot of supportive things that happen. And I will get to that more in detail, as it is one of my favorites, but you can find and begin finding and exploring it yourself, as the first solutions that I'll focus on are ones that are more esoteric and also maybe of even greater impact. So another example of a kind of friendlier and friendship-based kind of community are the alternative currency communities that the currency is focused around an hour of a human being's time. There are things called time banks, which you can find around the world. There was something called Ithaca Hours, which I don't know if it still exists or not, but basically they create a directory and people offer an hour of their time. And in these kind of systems, not only does it celebrate and honor and really, a human being's time, which is a friendly practice, but it inspires and encourages people to offer things that they really love, and get paid for it in hours, and the hours then could be used to get food or housing, as well as other things. Food or housing is not as common. These systems tend to focus more on, there are a lot of practical things, teaching each other. Maybe someone makes soup for people or whatever. Anyway, so you can explore those. And then another great one is the local community gardening group, where you can find all sorts of new kinds of sustainable practices, some that have been practiced for years and years, and new ones that are constantly being formed. And I'll talk more about that in the next video, where I get specific in describing friendly solutions, although I already did that a little bit with the hours currency system as an example. And of course, my community I am a nexus of several communities, and I will explain more how mine is in the next video.